Today I'd like to actually talk about a bearish bounce. As technicians, we know about close above the high of the low day, but what about a bearish bounce down? Let's explain this. So first off, you're going to see on this graph, we're using ODFL as an example. You're going to notice when we actually have bullish bounces, there's green dots on that chart, and we can see that there. A bullish bounce, green dot right there, and a bullish bounce, green dot right there. We know that is what's called close above the high of the low day. Now these dots can actually not just be from a bullish point of view where you want the stock to go up, but it also could be a bearish point of view. The green dots are typically used in an upward trend and you're trying to put on a bullish strategy. The red dots on the chart are just the complete opposite. Those red dots are signifying close below the low of the high day, and it is the complete opposite of CAHOLD, or bullish bounce. So the red dot, bearish bounce down. Now what I want us to kind of see right here is when this stock actually is in a downward trend. And the way we actually kind of know it's in a downward trend is we have the red line where it's red, okay? The 20-period moving average is red. And if that 20-period moving average is red, it actually tells us, look, the trend at that moment in time is down, okay? Now, the one thing you're going to notice in downtrends, there tends to be lower lows and lower highs. When we have lower highs, it's where the stock actually comes from a low point, 1 day up, 2 day up, 3 day up. And what you're now going to notice is, of those 3 days that we just pointed out to, which one of those 3 days is the highest? It's the previous day right there. And if we close below that low, which we did 2 days later, that is why there's a red dot on the chart. So that red dot on the chart could be where an investor says, I've identified a bearish trend. Second, I've identified a bearish bounce down point. The investor might take an entry. Bearish. Now, what you're going to notice is when the stock actually goes down, sometimes they don't always go up 3 days. They might go up less than 3 days. And so all of a sudden we go up for 1 day, only to see the very next day it goes down again. So of the green candle days, however many there are, did we close below the low of that day since we only had one up day? Yes, that is why there's a green dot. Bearish bounce down, bearish strategy. Consider that some investors might do. What you're now going to notice is the stock actually goes up for 1 day only, and the stock actually closed below the low of that day. What does that mean? Bearish bounce down. So what you're now going to notice is, in this case, is we see it again. It goes up for 1 day, bearish bounce down. So whether it goes up for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, this is what technicians view as a bearish trend, number one. And then number two is a bearish bounce entry spot where they might consider a bearish strategy. Now, where could you find this? Well, if you actually go right to my X page, and let's bring this up, what you're now going to notice is right on my X page, you're going to see right here, it will say, it's going to say on potential entry setups, CAHOLD. Okay, let me make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And what you're now going to notice is potential entries, CAHOLD, green dot, and it says on the chart. Well, in this case, if we actually use that script, which is just to the right there. Now, remember, scripts are not guaranteed for accuracy of or timing. You want to have an understanding of how those really work, so be aware of that, and where you could manually identify and confirm for yourself. Now, the big thing is when you take a look at this, how do we put it on? We just go to setup at the top right. We can now go to open shared item and we can just type in, it is case sensitive, what you actually saw on my X page. Now, when we actually pull this up, we're now going to click on the little test tube right there. When we click on the test tube, okay, you're now going to see that it's going to have a script called close above the high of the low day, CAHOLD, and close below the low of the high day, okay? Now, in this case, what you're now going to see is if we go over here to the right, click on the gear, you're now going to see if we show CAHOLD only, and we say yes, it's just going to show the bullish bounce setups. Now, if you said, well, I'm seeing some bearish trends now. I don't want to just see the bullish bounce setups. I would actually like to see the bearish bounce setups. Well, yours might be defaulted to where it says no, but you could turn that on. Yes. Okay. And now what you're going to see is when we pull that up, when we pull up any stock, and it doesn't matter which one it is, if we pulled up Lulu, it's going to have the green or the red dots on it. Now, same thing what we saw before. If we're in a bearish downward trend, which is going to be the 20-period moving average red, bearish entry setup, bearish entry setup, bearish entry setup, and so on. Okay, now, if we said, well, how would this work if someone was bullish? Well, if we went to, let's say, a stock like NVIDIA, and it doesn't matter what it is, if we were looking for a 20-period moving average was green, you're looking really for the green dots over time to show a bullish bounce setup. So it's versatile, not only in terms of stocks. Now, by the way, could you do it intraday? Yeah. Could you do it on a daily chart? Yeah. Could you do it on a weekly chart? Yeah. What about a monthly chart? Yeah. What about a quarterly chart? Yeah. What about an annual chart? Yeah. Okay. What about different products? Maybe let's say maybe it's not stocks. Yeah, as well. So that's what's kind of interesting about this is we're talking about something that isn't just stock specific, but it could be used for other chart time frames and or products. Bullish bounce, bearish bounce. Remember, you can actually go right to the my X page, my handle. You're going to see right there at James Boyd CS. Scroll down, you're going to see right in the middle there. It's going to show potential entry setups, green dot on the chart. And you're going to see there's the script right there. Now, if you'd like to learn more about other scripts that we actually have, join us right on the Trader Talk Schwab Coaching webcast, where you could actually learn more about these as far as practicing these setups in a paper money account. Join us.